Sorry, a little bit later than usual. I had some extra notes I had to do when I got off of work. But we're here now, the second to last Lore Tuesday of the season. Crazy. Insane. Ooh. About to knock my switch over. Maybe I should put that in a different place than where it currently is. Hi, comment. This is gonna be a pretty short one. I don't, like, very few people have posted stuff this week. Hi, comment. Thank you for the 29 months.
Are you ready for peak?
I am ready for peak. I intentionally did not look at anything so that I could be ready for peak. But you guys are terrible at, like, not spoiling me, so I kind of can guess what has happened. But I am so ready to experience it. Let's see, last week was the 24th, so everything the 25th and on. We can, oh, we're getting started with a We Don't Have Any Days post. Excited for that. I'm starving. Virgil, if you're listening, can you bring me some leftover pasta, please? Thank you. Oh my gosh, she called Freya. Like just a minute and a half, maybe 2 minutes. I usually put it in for a minute and then I like put my hand over it if it feels warm. And I put it in for, or like, if it doesn't feel warm, then I put it in for like 30 seconds until it feels warm. Gonna have like steam coming off of it. I gotta get rid of the Oakle one now. Who should we replace it with? And I gotta get rid of the Eclipse one. Virgil is a waiter and a chef for Freya when she's streaming. It's true. Hi, Cece! And hi, Cook. Hi, Mika. I don't think I said hi to CJ either. I just accepted that you were here. Hello, CJ. Virgil and I have been working on stuff for next season. Build planning.
Okay, sorry. Hang on.
Okay, sorry. Virgil was asking, clarifying a question. What was I saying? I don't remember. Oh yeah, I'm working on making a new resources center for next season, and I think I want to make an auto sorter. With Lightmatica, it shouldn't be that bad because I can like build in creative first, and then import the Lightmatica schematic thing. It should be fun. Oh yeah, are you guys ready for the Peacekeepers surprise? Should I do that first or should I make you wait? Maybe I should do it first. Okay, I'm gonna stop the music. Are you guys ready for the Peacekeepers surprise? I insta-ban you from chat, yeah. Comet. Zinnia. Mira. Yeah, I know the camera's out of focus.
You want a drink?
Thank you. I have water. Thank you.
Okay.
Who should have the funky nose? Cam or Waters? Cam? Cam was said first. Cam! Waters. Alright. You guys ready to watch? Ready for Lore Tuesday? We got little Peep Waters head to join us today. Alright. First thing, we have a final eclipse log. Now, I didn't mention it more than a couple times because I myself forgot. But she does, in fact, have a cybernetic arm. The only people who would really have noticed that would probably have been Zinnia and Marcelo before he died. And probably Ogle. But this is a log. It will say... Let me do this so that you can see more of it. Okay. Yeah, this should show the whole thing. In the corner up here, it's gonna say the date. But I'll say it so that you can actually see it. Oh, you know what? Maybe we just do this. Hold on. Why is my window thing not working? Hold on. Hello, window capture? Okay, my window capture just is deciding not to work. But that's... okay. Okay, good. It's working now. Okay.
Come in.
So this, I will say here. January 16, 2492. The Great Anomaly happened December 20, 2491. So this is a month later.
Come in. Cypher.
So how are you feeling?
I've been better. Is that an arm?
Oh, this, yeah, it's nothing special. I'm no cybernetics expert. I spent weeks just finding the right materials for the wiring.
Cypher, this is incredible. Thank you.
Well, I got some more work to do.
Cypher, I'm so sorry for everything. Please,
Not yet.
Okay. Thank you. Good luck with your work. Cypher, wait. You're important to me. Don't forget that.
Womp womp Cypher. And Beef. Thanks to Costas for doing voice lines even way after his character got killed. I love Eclipse. Cypher's there too. And rest in peace to Eclipse. There will be more Eclipse appearances next season, because she's involved with some of the stuff that will be the backstory of Hunter for next season. Waters Peep, what do you think about that? Oh, he's crying. Oh, don't cry, Waters Peep. It'll be okay. Don't cry. Do you guys want to pat Waters Peep? Hold on. Where's the hand pat? I'll give you an opportunity to pat Waters Peep. Put it right here. And you guys can pat it. Go for it. Oh! Why would you bonk him? Waters Peep did nothing wrong. Alright, my arm is getting tired, so hurry up with your patting. No, I can't believe you would bonk him. Alright, patting bonking time over. Stay on my finger. Okay. Yeah. Let me get this back to normal size. There we go. We have from Lucky. Thank you to Light and Bagel for writing this with me. Catching up. If anything bad happens, or I don't know, I feel like I'm just gonna. It's okay. Don't. Waters Peep is friend, not food. Also, to whoever said sing happy birthday, I don't know who Titus is. Beef really wants to eat the Peep, by the way. I don't know if you can see her. Ignore my messy desk. You want... Hey! She's really trying to get the Peep. Okay. Lucky had spent the last couple days isolating herself. It was the best option as she was busy trying to track down Oliver by herself, and all the other issues happening around Solace weren't as important to her. So far, she had gained zero information on where Oliver may have gone to, but she did know that she couldn't neglect her own life any longer to find him. After a decent hike and a short row in the ocean, Lucky found herself stepping on platforms of the SUNC where she hoped to find light. The satyr cracked her back and began to mumble. I'm getting too old for this. We're gonna have to find another way for me to get here. She sighed and eventually walked up to the doors to knock. She knocked once more. And again. Finally, as she reached to knock a fourth time, the door swung open. Light stood in the doorway. Her curly hair was a mess, and there were heavy eye bags underneath her eyes. She looked like she was almost about to yell, but stopped herself when she saw Lucky. Delight flashed in the dragon's expression. Alongside it was fear. Lucky, hey, she said quickly, stepping out of the doorway to close the door behind her. What brings you to SUNC? Lucky smiled for a moment at the sight of Light before noticing the expression on the dragon's face. Well, I came to see how you were, but by the looks of it, something's going on. Lucky reached out, putting a hand on her shoulder. You want to talk about it? Light reached up and gently covered the satyr's eyes with her own. She gave... Oh, satyr's hand with her own. Why did I say eyes? Covered her eyes with her own? She gave a light smile, even though it didn't reach her eyes. It's just... a lot has happened recently, so I have a lot on my mind, the dragon said as she looked away, a look of guilt flashing briefly on her face. Lucky tilted her head, a bit confused. What could be happening lately other than the deaths? Huh. A lot's been going on. Huh. I wonder what could have happened other than, you know, a bunch of people dying. What could she be... Sorry. Maybe she was struggling with them? Ah, well, funerals are always upsetting. I'm sure they're enjoying their afterlife in whatever place they believe in, so no need to worry about that. She smiled, trying to ease the dragon. Light's ears lowered slightly. She met Lucky's eyes. Freya's gone, she said softly. She left Solace at the faction meeting. Lucky paused for a moment. Her hand moved away. Wait, gone like gone gone, or left for a break gone? Gone gone, Lucky. Light looked down at her hands. She took a deep breath and straightened herself. She had placed Mira and the judicial branch in charge in her absence. After a moment of taking in this new information, Lucky reached out for Light's hands. Hey, it'll be okay. I'm sure Mira and the others will figure this out and help as they can. For now, let's go relax and de-stress, Light hesitated. She glanced back at the door behind her. Then she reached into her pocket and took out her comms device. The dragon hesitated a bit, typing and deleting only to retype again. I don't know if I should, Light said softly. Something's been happening with my dad, and I don't want him to be alone. Waters, Lucky sighed. She felt so in the dark about everything. How could she possibly help if she knew nothing? Well, maybe if you want an extra hand, and if it's okay, I could come to help around, or we can just stay here and talk? The satyr looked back at her boat for a moment. A silence engulfed them for a moment too long. Of course, I could also go if you want to be alone. Whatever you need. I just want to help. Light looked up towards Lucky. A feeling of guilt pressed down on her shoulders. She looked towards the camera, then down at her comms device. She texted a quick message to let her dad know she was going out with Lucky for a time. It's okay, Light. You can go help. You can go be with your girlfriend. That's fine with me. I love lesbians. Wow, Waters is such an ally. The dragon looked up at her girlfriend and offered a small smile. I'll tell you what's been happening. Let's go to the Keepers of Solace garden. The satyr agreed, keeping Light's hand as they made their way to the garden. Upon arriving, they sat on a nearby bench. Lucky smiled. All right, I'm all ears. Light took a sharp breath. She rubbed the palm of her hand along the fabric of her skirt in a vain attempt to calm herself down. This is going to sound crazy. I know that it's going to sound crazy. My dad, Waters, is dealing with an entity that can take over his body. We call her the Wave Seeker. She's a primordial goddess who helped to create the cluster of galaxies known as the 312th Sector. It's about a 6-year journey away from Solace. The dragon glanced at Lucky, trying to gauge her reaction. Lucky just sat there, quietly listening and nodding. Okay, well, that's a lot to take in. A goddess is a big deal, yeah? She sighs, tapping her hoof a bit. Sorry, I'm not really informed on the goddess and planet stuff, but is there anything we can do to help him? Light shrugged. Me and others are trying to figure out how to do that, she said as she leaned back against the bench. It's not exactly easy to go against gods, especially primordial ones. The dragon absentmindedly raised a hand to her throat, running a hand along it. She felt the tight skin of the golden scar that wrapped around the front of her neck. But this one, she does her harm in the worst way possible, by using Waters to try to kill her victims while she kills them within this mind domain. It happened to the others I had mentioned. It happened to me. Lucky's attention was more focused now on the mention of Light being harmed. I see. She had noticed Light's gesture to her throat seconds back. The way Light was talking about this bothered her quite a bit, and how Lucky felt that maybe it wasn't the safest at SUNC for the time being. Light, if something happened to you, maybe staying so close to Waters isn't the best idea. She paused, rethinking her statement. I'm not saying just to leave him. I know that's not an option, but I don't want you to be hurt any more than what's already happened. Light hesitated, then shook her head. I don't have anywhere else I can go, and I can't just leave Dad now, not with everything happening. I'd be the closest to him in case anything happens. Lucky was getting a bit frustrated, not because of Light's reluctance, but because of how hard the situation was. Well, my doors are always open, you know that. She looked out around them for a moment. And of course, if you refuse, maybe I'll just have to sleep in my boat, because now there is no way I am letting you deal with this alone. Light looked at Lucky with her eyes wide. She felt tears form in her eyes. She pulled Lucky into a hug, burying her face into the satyr's shoulder, her own shoulder shaking in a silent sob. The satyr was quickly surprised before relaxing into the hug. Hey, I got you. After a while, Lucky eventually broke the hug, wiping a tear from Light's cheek and smiling. Now, should I prepare to sleep out in my boat for a while? Light gave a soft, almost broken laugh. She shook her head and relented. I'll need to talk to Dad about it, she said as her ears lowered. There was a look of guilt on her face, as if she believed that she was being selfish by wanting to move in with Lucky or out of SUNC in general. Of course, take your time, Lucky replied, though I would appreciate it if you at least sent a comm every now and again. Just want to make sure you're okay. Of course, Light said with a nod. She smiled lightly, seemingly more relieved than before. She paused for a moment before a playful smirk crossed her face. Maybe I should send you a good morning, my love text every morning. She teased. Lucky smiled back. Honestly, that would make my day, she chuckled lightly. Maybe I'll say good morning back. Light chuckled with amusement before she placed her head on Lucky's shoulder. Maybe I'll send you my dad's parrots as my check-in text. Waters has... You have parrots? You're a bird yourself. He looks just as shocked as I am. Lucky huffed a bit. Of course. Always the birds, huh? As long as you're checking in, I suppose. I didn't know that he had parrots. That's cool. The satyr smiled, getting ready to speak once more before she was interrupted by a new voice. Lucky, we have... I didn't notice you had company. Magos had made his appearance. This makes it seem like it was just like planned all along. Like he had finally made his appearance. Lucky froze up a moment before speaking. Oh, so Magos, what's up? Shouldn't you be working? It has been a slow day. Nobody has been injured except for me, which was an easy fix. Magos had a new cybernetic forearm replacement piece. How did he injure himself? Let him go? No. He likes being here. Don't you? Right? Right? No, don't cry. I can eat you if you want. No, he says no. Eat? Do you want me to eat you? Oh god, you're about to fall. Yeah, he's having fun. Sitting on my thumb. Yeah, see? He's having fun. Yeah! Lucky nodded, acknowledging him. Right. She wasn't sure what to say, how to keep things smooth without Light questioning too much. Light sat up straight, eyeing the new cybernetic. Dr. Magos, may I ask you a question? She asked, forcing herself to sound calm. Ask away. Magos talked in his usual manner. What is his usual manner? What happened between you and Waters the other day? Light asked as her ears pinned back. I know you two had fought, but what caused it? Why were you even there in the first place? Awkward! Well, the reason I was there was to collect the last samples I wanted from this world. These samples were purely for my own collection, like different soils and such. What happened with Waters, I am not entirely sure. He sounded like he was talking to someone else during the time, or maybe he just views me as a threat. Our species, mainly mine, despised each other for roughly 1,500 years by now. Magos moved his hands as he talked. Light stared at Magos with an unreadable expression, unsure if she could take his words at face value. Nonetheless, she nodded. I can't tell if this is cute or horrifying. It's cute! It's cute, right? Yes. Yes, it's cute. I see, the dragon stated calmly. If I may ask, why does your species hate Water's species? They tried to invade us. I was 13 when it happened. Roughly a small force, but still mighty. They are the reason why my heart is metal in the first place. Magos knocked on his chest lightly, as to prove a point. I would stay away from Waters. I know that may be hard because of your odd family dynamic with them. Lucky cleared her throat. Well, I'd say everyone on Solace is dangerous in their own way, honestly. All of us have our pasts and, things to deal with. Light looked at Lucky, then back at Magos. Waters is still my dad, Dr. Magos. While I agree he can be dangerous if he so chose to be, I cannot just give up on him, especially if I have a chance to help him. Have you tried digging through his files at all? I know a person like Waters with all his tech definitely has a hidden log or two. However, you need to be willing to do what needs to be done in case he can't be helped and he becomes a threat to everyone around him. Say that next time he suddenly attacks someone, could be Mira, or maybe Zinnia, or hell, maybe even Comet. You can try to help him, just be ready for the worst scenario. Magos folded his arms. Light looked away, the wings affixed to her head, moving to hide her face. Her hands balled into fists as they gripped the edge of her shirt so tightly that her knuckles turned white. I know. I've planned for it in my own way, Light said softly. Especially after. She trailed off, unable to bring herself to admit what Waters had done to her under the Waveseeker's control. She took a sharp breath and chose to change the subject. If you have business with Lucky, Dr. Magos, I can leave. You're welcome to. It won't take long. Magos looked towards Lucky. Lucky looked between the two conflictingly. Well, Light and I were... Magos, why don't we talk later, or you could call me or something, unless this is important? I suppose I can leave you both alone for a while longer. I know how you both can be. Once you are able, Lucky, calm me and I'll fill you in. I know how you both can be. I know you lesbians. Wiry, what? Comet? Bagel. Comet throw hands? Who, what? Where was Comet mentioned? With that, Magos walked away. Lucky let out a breath she didn't realize she was holding before facing Light. Well then, shall I walk you home? She offered her hand. Light nodded slightly, offering Lucky a half smile. She took a hold of the satyr's hand and stood up. The two walked silently for a while before getting in Lucky's boat. Finally, Lucky spoke up. Hey, I'm sorry about that earlier interruption. Was there anything else you wanted to tell me? Light hesitated a moment, then shook her head. No, I think I've told you enough, she said softly. Just, if you're around my dad and you hear a woman's voice coming from seemingly nowhere, ignore it. Don't acknowledge her. Lucky nodded, stopping at the edge of the water near the SUNC. Alrighty then. Well, I'll see you around. Yeah. Yeah, have a safe journey home, Lucky. I'll text you later, Light said as she climbed out of the boat. The satyr gave a small nod before the two finally parted ways. Maybe they'd see each other again very soon. Yes! Okay, I'm not gonna watch this on stream, but I will say, this is the entire story of all, like, Eclipse and Cypher and everything, chronologically. I'm the one who made all of, like, the Eclipse logs and everything, like, I wrote everything out, and this still made me cry listening to it all the way, just because, like, you can see how things... I'm very proud of how I wrote, Eclipse. You can see how things... Comet was literally mentioned? Where was Comet mentioned? Magos does not know about the Waveseeker bit. He just got lucky naming people that could be attacked. Women. So true. Alright, Waters peep, I think it is our time to part. Your misery will be ended now. Say goodbye, everyone. Thank God. That was tasty. Alright, we have a frog video to watch. One of, I think, 3 today. I'm so excited. This is these are all big ones. Alright, wait. Hold on. I need to look at my Stream Deck stuff. I have not tried Dr. Pepper Peeps. These were $1 at the store, so I was like, why not? Okay, finally, okay, that one's working, this is working. I just had to open it, that's so no. Sorry, flashbang. Hi everyone. I'm gonna give an opportunity for everyone to, ask questions. Why is this like... You see how it's, like, off? Hold on. Okay, that's a little better. Or if they have anything to say first, and I have something to say at the end. Does anyone have anything to say? I know a lot has happened. If not, then I'll just say what I was gonna say. I have something prepared here. Not the awkward to Ladice. I'm infinitely sorry for what happened to Tarushno and to you. I will never forgive myself for what happened at the ball. You've been there for me even when I wasn't there for you. Not the way that I should have been. Comet. If I had acted sooner, I could have stopped Eclipse and violence from hurting you. I'm so sorry. You are so strong. I hope Bob visits sometime and I can tell him how thankful I am for you. Krufik.
Why are you...
Better security and faster medical response would have helped you. I'm sorry that came too late. You look for the best in people and I admire that in you. Frostfire suffered because of me and you were only able to rebuild because of your leadership. Light, you were right. Your wisdom was ignored by me for too long, and many suffered because of it. You saved lives, and I put them at risk over and over again. Belios, what Okul did to you was unforgivable. I should never have pulled that lever. I could and should have apprehended Okul then and there. I'm so sorry. Frog, your constant fear of life here was always justified. This planet is dangerous, and I am at fault for that. I wish I had been able to protect you like you deserved. Mira, there isn't anything I could say to you that would matter at this point. It wasn't enough. Nothing I did was enough. I'm sorry, and I don't expect you to ever forgive me. I don't forgive myself. I won't. Ever. Marcelo was so proud of you. He cared about you so much, and was honored to have you call him Dad. You were the daughter he never had. After careful consideration, I've decided that the best decision for this planet would be for me to step down from leadership. The Keepers of Solace will be transferred to Mira and the rest of the judicial branch. Frog, Feather, please take care of Cupcake for me. The planet is yours, and I'm sorry for not doing enough.
What? What?
Wait, Stardust lady? Come back, hold on.
Oh.
Wait. No.
No.
Outside. Look outside.
No.
She's there.
Could this low-key have not happened sooner? I mean, I don't know if you're saying that as like, oh man, I wish Bob could have been there. Or, wow, finally, that bitch is gone. But no, this is all supposed to like crash together because like Freya was like kind of, there's multiple things. She was kind of like, okay, I can still fix things, like, you know, nobody on Eclipse's list died. They almost did. She's like, okay, they're okay. Things are still okay. Then Marcelo actually dies. And he was also the person who, like, told her all the time that, like, you're doing the best you can, like, there's nothing you can do, like, you're fine, you're okay. There's no one he's not Trigo. Yes. I hate to break it to you, but yes, that was a big thing that happened recently. I would recommend scrolling back a little bit through Lord Tuesday, maybe you're looking at Frog's videos. Eclipse does have a what's KDR? Revives? Freya has a KDA of 101. I count Belios as an assist. Alright.
She has to be there.
Kill death
Where is she?
ratio, I see.
Freya!
This isn't real.
No.
She left.
No.
Is that a disappearance?
Freya!
No.
I love this just being completely like
I really don't think she's
okay.
here.
nobody was
I
expecting
think
this.
she's the type to just say something like that and then not follow through with it.
Um,
Truffle's like, woo!
wait,
I'm safe now. Yeah, Eclipse's kill death ratio is higher than anyone in the history of ever combined. Eclipse killed 90% of the universe's population.
what to do? What to do? Okay,
This is everybody's fault.
What do you mean it's everybody's fault?
Everybody thinks,
Please
oh,
don't.
Freya's the god. Oh, Freya's everything. She has to protect everybody because she is a god. Well, guess what? She's not a god. She's a normal being. But no,
Do it,
she
Bob.
is not a god. We all say, oh, Freya, she's the god. She's our leader. No, she was never meant to be our leader. She was supposed to be someone
She never asked to be treated the way she did.
never
No.
wanted to be a god. She didn't want to be our leader. She wanted to be a friend.
Oh, you should have done it, Comment. I need everyone to lock in. People, I've told people during faction meetings that, like, you can yell at each other. You can, like, you know, do whatever. Go crazy. Eldon Span are the names of water viewers. I remember one of those names Span. I forgot Eld. They're named off of coding data entry. Oh my gosh! I love that.
But no, everybody wanted her to be our leader. She didn't ask for this. She didn't ask for anything.
She volunteered.
When did she volunteer?
When did she say she volunteered?
She
Because
said it many
I'm pretty
times.
sure all of you have started relying on like, some god. Blaming you got everybody has been taking out their issues on her. She didn't ask for it.
She didn't ask for anything. But
Have
no.
you guys forgotten that she's only interacted with humans for 6 years? You guys put all of these expectations onto her that she never asked for.
Never in my
I
10
know
years
that
of
we're
She
all
didn't want to.
angry.
She didn't ask for any of this. She didn't
I know-
ask to be leader.
I know that
We
we're all
know.
angry, but we need. But when Freya left, we need to. I don't think Freya would have wanted us to fight at all. I think Freya would have wanted us to be friendly and try to figure things out without getting angry at each other.
People
Yeah.
didn't seem too friendly to her. Okay.
I know, but
Hey,
it's just,
look, you
I
guys don't.
understand.
People that
You
were
guys don't
friendly to her.
understand. I've known her longer than any of you have. I've seen how you've treated my friend.
Mice on Venus.
Disgusting.
Ugh. From it. Mira freak out cam. I love this camera work. Fire.
Right. Oh God. Okay. I will be discussing with the rest of the judicials and the judges for the next steps to take. I am panicking as much as you guys are. But okay. We're gonna take this with caution. And I ask that all of you and all your factions stay together as a unit. I do trust that some of you guys will be
Oh, I
scared.
think it worked perfectly.
I know that I am scared as well. But we need to stay together. Even if we no longer have Freya's influence with us. I will talk to the other leaders, or I will see into contacting them, so we can figure out a way to handle this. Are there any questions? Yes, Rod.
Did you notice how as soon as Freya left, everybody kind of crumbled? And this is just after everybody just kept I shouldn't say everybody, but a majority of people kept saying that Freya was not helpful, that Freya was doing nothing. But as soon as Freya leaves, we're all like, we don't know what to do.
Do
you have a plan? At all?
I never, Frog. I never have plans whenever things like this happen. I have tried all the time, but yes, I do understand. Everybody has been taking their anger out on Freya, and guess what? I have too. But right now is not a time to put blame or put fingers at someone. I know you want to feel the satisfaction right now of being right.
No. I'm just saying. I'm just pointing out what I've noticed.
Yeah.
I don't want to upset you.
Footless chickens.
Just upset you. I just wanted to point it out to everybody here. I had doubts on Freya, you know.
I have my doubts on her too, but I'm not sure how I feel about her anymore. We can still move on from this. We have civilizations who have lived without Lumerian. We can move on from this.
Okay.
That's seriously it? She just gets to walk away? Just abandon all her responsibilities?
Yes.
She didn't leave anything for you at all? Any message, any setup? She just leaves like that? Seriously?
Yes. If there are no more questions, I only hope that you guys trust that we can handle this, because we can do this. We survived so much. We cannot give up just because she decided to run away. Understand? Right? Being dismissed.
What a crazy meeting.
Oh man!
Screaming.
Why is water screaming?
Okay, so you're heartbreaking?
Waters was living up to his name. Alright, after the wedding, let me put the music back on. Freya came back and just briefly to watch the wedding from afar. Because I will give you this. She has been, since Marcella's pod was sent out, she's been keeping track of where it is, and that's where she's been this whole time, is just hanging out and talking to him. Freya came back, Joe came back. But she did come back briefly because she knew that Marcella would want to know, you know, what happened at Mira's wedding, to make sure that she was okay. And so she came back and watched from afar because she knew she was not welcomed. But yeah, she didn't trip when walking down the aisle even without you. I think she'll be okay. You don't have to worry. Freya? Damn. I wonder what's gonna happen to you in about an hour. Angel lore. Oh, I'm so sorry. Oh, I'm so sorry. Okay. Sorry. Flashbang. The days of not seeing his brother started as days, then weeks, and finally months. By now it has been almost a year since he last saw Croy and they actually knew each other. Oftentimes, Angel finds himself reminiscing on old times, like when they first met, when he helped the other man because he knew he was new to Solace. At the time, he didn't know what they'd become or what would happen. He just knew that Croy, no, Alfie, was his best friend, his family. He was no stranger to losing people. He lost his mother and father from the Great Anomaly after all. Then he lost Onyx, then Helena, and finally Susu. Now all he had was Light and a few other friends he rarely talked to, though sometimes he thinks back to when he saw Alfie last. It was sunset and Angel was sitting outside of his house, sitting at Onyx's grave. He looked so different. Scared, almost. But different nonetheless, though that was still his big brother, the one that took care of him through everything, no matter what the risk was. The same man who built him a grave with his bare hands the first time he died. He could remember the times when he was a ghost, only visible to Alfie, and he remembered watching him die. He felt so heartbroken, seeing his brother like that, so distressed and upset. It was a terrible sight. He remembered it all, and it constantly played on repeat in his head. He's been starting to forget his voice and his face. He's forgetting his brother, and that's what Angel hated most. Because forgetting is... You should do that trend, the like, I'm forgetting your face trend thing. The animation thing. Because forgetting someone you once hung out with every single day was terrible. Forgetting their face, their voice, and everything about them except their name. Angel once swore that Alfie would see him actually grow up, would see him become as strong as Alfie was. Actually become good at fighting, or just good at anything he was bad at before. He knew about his companion, and sometimes he wished he could be beside him instead. He started to pick up some habits that Alfie used to have. When he's found himself visiting Alfie's old house, where Sentinel and Yippee lived too, where he was going to build a home, to be closer to Alfie so he didn't have to travel so far. He missed Alfie so much, and he wished he could tell him that. He wished that he could run into him again, to be able to hug him again, to be able to tell him he was sorry, and most of all, to tell his big brother that he loved him. Though in the past few months, he's realized how proud of him Alfie would be, because he's learned so much. He made friends, met someone he now considers a sister. Despite all of that, he still misses his brother, more than anything in the entire world, and now he just wishes he would come back. But maybe he'd be okay without him. Maybe he would be fine. He'd be okay. Croy is there! Just go talk to Croy! Croy is there! Available to talk to all the time. Alright, another frog video. Taking care. I wonder who made this wonderful music, guys. Oh, it's Cupcake! Oh, Cupcake has a little house! She's so cute. Oh, the baking! Ah. Is there strudel in there? Oh my god, there's strudel for Cupcake! Ah. She's living such a good life. Much better than being in the community center all the time. Oh. I bet Cupcake misses Freya. Well, I don't know. They knew each other for a couple weeks. She might be like, I don't think Cupcake actually has any thoughts. Chunky. Frog! Frog. Frog. She's on to her next victim. Wow, Frog's house has so many animals. A brown panda, yo. Well, what is the lifespan of a sheep? A couple weeks could be meaningful in that way? Actually, I don't know. I feel like they live long. 10 to 12 years? Yeah. I'm sure Cupcake loves Freya. She misses Freya and Marcello. Zinnia should come by and say hi!
We're gonna go visit my friend.
No way!
Oh yeah, yeah. All right. I don't know how this works. I summon the bee. Oh, hey. So, you know who this dog is? I don't know if you're... You do? Yeah. Okay. Right? Okay. Yeah, this is Elk. Did you know I took Elk? I mean, you have...
So that's who's took Frog's dog. Dude, Violence cannot keep being like, oh yeah, no, your Frog forgave me and I'm trying to be better. I'm being a better person now, blah, 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 blah. And then also steal Frog's dog? I'm about to bring out the disco balls again.
have been watching Frog like I asked you to, right? Right, okay. Alright, cool. Okay. So this is Elk. I'm teaching this little guy to stalk. Like you know, I have
Can't see. Hold on. Get that out of here! Ugh. Fun fact, I got the disco ball and a white elephant thing. You're teaching Frog's dog how to stalk? Like how evil do you have to be to take someone's pet? Steal their beloved pet. You all have pets. Some of you have pets. Imagine if someone stole Beef and taught Beef to be a terrible cat. Taught her to bite or scratch or whatever. Be as terrible as you are.
like I taught you, right?
I know you're probably like, oh, just watch. He's gonna return the dog. Don't worry. I don't care. I don't care if Violence gives the dog a diamond collar and builds Frog a mansion. At this point, as someone who has been stalked, this pisses me off.
Well, currently I'm training this dog to protect Frog, because, you know, obviously what I did was somewhat not okay, you know?
Somewhat? Somewhat not okay.
Yeah. So, yeah, someone... Hey. Okay. So, you know, don't want anything else happening. So, not from me. I'm done with that. Because I don't want to... Anyways, not from me. Don't want anything else happening. 'Cause I don't want to... Anyways.
I don't want anything else happening. You know, I'm done with that life. I'm not stalking or being a bad person anymore. I'm just stealing someone's dog to teach them to stalk.
Yeah, so this little guy right here has just been chilling with me, and we decided to come visit you. You know, just a little bit. Come say hi, see how you were doing. I honestly did not expect you to be where you lost your wings. He smells you. Alright, well, we're gonna go ahead and
Suspend.
skedaddle. Y'all have, well, you have fun. Make good choices. Don't do anything I would do. Yeah. Stay away from light.
Frog's making an apple strudel for Cupcake. Frog is literally, like, Frog and Violence are literally, like, Frog's the nicest, kindest, most understanding person ever. So sweet. Nothing bad should happen to her, ever. And Violence is so despicable. And deserves every bad thing, but never receives any consequences for anything he does. Frog suffers the consequences for Violence's actions. Or, like, suffers because of Violence's actions. Violence, I don't know exactly what happens in the document later. But I need to see, in graphic, brutal detail, Violence receiving consequences. Immediately.
Cake, I got you some apple strudel. Your favorite.
Huh! Oh, right, because the dog. You know the guy. Hold on. Wait. Shoot, what's the... Guy gets lips. Why is it a different language? No, but like, you know how he like turns pink or whatever? Like a light pink? That's what I thought just happened to Cupcake.
Favorite.
Sorry.
Oh. Hey.
Hi.
Hey,
What are you doing out here?
I guess no! Freya's gone, so even if you press the SOS button, she's not gonna show up right away. The guard force will come over though. I'm sure Feather is like locked in. They whitewashed Cupcake.
I brought Elk.
You had elk the whole time?
Yeah. Was I not supposed to?
No.
What were you not supposed? I knocked my empty pasta bowl on the floor. What do you mean, were you not supposed to?
Oh.
Elk.
He's kind of just
Is he licking
over
the
there.
wall?
Yeah.
Can you back up? I don't...
Get over here.
Hi, Elk.
That's okay. I brought him back anyways. Yeah, no, I've had Elk this whole.
There's not one single person on Solace who's locked in. They just let this clown roam wherever. Yeah! I'm so ready for Comet to get their hands on Violence.
whole time.
Hey.
Just gonna.
Stop. No, Elk.
Why? Honestly, I've kind of just been training Elk.
Training him?
Yeah, to like watch you and stuff. Not a.
I can't believe I'm watching a video where a person where someone's stalker, someone who took this person's identity away from them and who they are as a person away from them, and then proceeded to stalk them since then, stole their animals, is talking face to face to them, and nothing bad is going to happen to them during this conversation. The stalker and person who is being stalked are just talking face to face as if everything is okay. This, like, actually pisses me off. This actually enrages me. Like I said, maybe I'm just taking this way too personally. As someone who has been stalked by a crazy ex for years before, it's just not okay. It's just, I don't like watching this. No offense to Frog, your videos are great. I needed violence. I know violence is gonna get some consequences finally later today, but I needed violence to get consequences like a month after, like right away after everything that happened. Because but it wasn't allowed because, no offense to violence either, the person, but you didn't allow anyone to give violence consequences until you were finally ready for it. This is why next season, we're going to, if you are playing a character who's doing bad things, you either have to be really prepared or really smart and figure out a way to get around this stuff. There is no more of, oh, well, my character just, I can't have my character have consequences yet. If you do bad things on Solace in broad daylight, you will be captured and sent to a prison in the Soul Pact Union light years and light years away. If violence doesn't actually die permanently at the end of this stream, I will have words to say about it.
A creepy way, like more like a guard dog, like a guard dog.
He's kind of doing that already.
She was doing horrible. If I was able to take Elk without any issue, there was a problem in the whole. He was a guard dog.
Oh yeah, maybe if I was able to take your dog without issue, it's definitely your fault, Frog. It's your fault that I stole your dog. Cause you didn't train Elk well enough. It's your fault that, you know, I was able to kidnap you. Cause obviously you didn't have a good enough guard dog. Cupcake needs to do something here.
You seeing this, Cupcake? This is wild, isn't it?
What's it like having your mother gone?
Stop! Don't say that.
Oh, I'm sorry.
Who doesn't know about Cupcake? Your mom is not gone. Your mom is just taking a quick break.
But yeah, no, I wanted to bring him back. Just know he has the bite force of, I don't know, it hurts.
Okay, so he did bite you. Great.
Oh, no, I told him to. I told him to.
Sheep have 8 very sharp bottom teeth. Cupcake's about to use all of them.
Told him to bite you or bite someone else? Cause that's a little concerning.
Like, taught him how to be aggressive when need be. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Interesting. Now that I'm thinking about it, how did you get inside of my house to get Elk? Because I could have sworn it was like a nightmare or something. Cause like this house is huge. How did you get up there?
I kind of just climbed up there and then walked out the front door.
Okay.
How did you get inside? The plot needed him to. Yeah. The worst lore that I've seen this season is all because the plot needed it to happen. Not just targeting violence here, but like all lore that was just kind of like not good this season was just, well, the plot needed it to happen, so I just made it happen. Feather, you are the leader of the guard force. There's no way you don't have extra security. There's no way you didn't talk to Marcelo before and are like, hey, I'm gonna have extra security around my house and around Solace and around all this blah 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 because of Violence, who attacked and currently stalks my sister. There's no way you wouldn't be doing everything in your power to try and protect Frog. Sorry.
A robotic clown, what do you expect?
Just don't do that again. How did you even
Well-
find out where we were?
You're asking me that question.
Well, I haven't seen you.
Oh yeah, but
forever.
I've seen you.
Hmm?
We've been watching you this whole time. It's
Elk?
great.
Elk, why didn't you tell me? Or come up to me and tell me or something?
Shh. Yeah, just look away. Just look away. No.
I feel like Markiplier at the end of Poppy Playtime Chapter 5. Or 6, or whatever the fuck the last one was. I feel like Markiplier right now. I hit my desk so hard that it started the video again. It's like, I just...
You trained him not to tell me. How can he be a guard dog but not tell me?
Because it was super top secret. It was supposed to be a surprise. So, surprise! He's back. He's safe.
Yeah.
He's better well behaved now. And he has seen a lot of stuff go on.
No, I don't want to see Snowball pics because it's going to make me think Violence would steal Snowball in a second. Violence would steal Snowball in a second. And do terrible things.
I will say that. He has seen some
Positive?
things.
It better be positive.
He has seen some things.
What did he see?
You can ask about that one. That's a y'all conversation. I don't know if you understand.
What in the Redo Dog Grandma did you see, bro?
Yeah, just look away. Yeah, that's fine.
Why do you keep saying that? Who are you saying to look away? Him? Who are you looking at right now? Get me inside. Who are you looking at? Dude, don't look like that. Wait. Okay. Ew. Dude, what are you looking at?
Anyways, yeah, no, I just came to drop off Elk. Didn't want to like startle you or anything. I was gonna kind of just like place him exactly where I found him. I didn't know if you were
Trained by someone who doesn't exactly have your best interest in mind. Didn't put their owner above the person who kidnapped them when met in supposedly several instances of being near to the owner.
home or not. I was too busy watching someone else.
Who? Who are you looking? Who are you talking about? Elk, come in here. Or don't come in here. Come on. Elk.
Go.
Elk.
Go.
Elk.
Go.
Elk.
Go.
Elk.
Go.
Let me just.
Hold on.
You could have cut the video.
Just
There you go. There you go.
we
Good
go.
job. So, yeah, no, I just wanted to bring him back.
Thank you.
Nothing bad. No bad intentions.
Okay.
Promise.
Okay, well. Elk, what did you do and see?
Yeah.
Is that why Violence is all beat up? What other fight? How did you get up there? Elk, what did you do and see?
A
I need like piano, music, dramatic, stream safe. Okay, that looks sketchy. Where's like that dramatic piano music? Pain changes people. This is just like sad. Where's like... Yeah, this works. Yeah, so I don't like. I assume that if it has like an AI background, it may be AI generated music. Classical crash out music. Yes. So now I need to add Frog to list of people who know water speed up violence. Indeed. Okay. Violence, both. Seriously, a lot of violence. Minor body horror. Good. I hope there's so much violence. I can't wait. Let's go. Memento Mori. Solving some issues and delivery. On every planet, there is one commonality between all living things. There are predators, and there are prey. Solace is no different. The prey, that abhorrent robotic clown, one who had brought nothing but suffering, the one whose existence would be better if erased entirely. I completely agree. The predator, the immortal and tenebrous monster whose disgusting and loathing emanated from every fiber of its being, the monster born from nature and death, the very one charged with keeping the order. It stalks its prey, slinking in the shadows. It has spent hours like this, circling its victim like an animal would its food. Its mouth hungers, salivating like a creature would over flesh. But this was much more than a physical need for food. It was something else entirely. It was an overwhelming lust for justice, for blood, for revenge. The prey, of course, was unassuming. With the way his soon-to-be assailant melded into the shadows of the forest, he was none the wiser. But the animals, much smarter creatures, could tell that death was near. The target traipsed through the forest, then stopped. The forest fell quiet. Too quiet. Then it emerged from behind its mark, allowing itself to be seen. The clown whipped around, grasping his pitiful axe, a poor reflection of the hulking horror. Back for round two? Violence sneered. There was no response. The monster swayed, eerily silent. Its eyes were shut, as if it was trying to listen to an inaudible symphony. Its eyes opened, and before Violence could react, it rushed forward, faster than it had ever been, as if possessed. The axe cut through the air, the sharp blade narrowly nicking the torso of the clown, slicing the fabric of his suit before he leapt backwards. Violence barely had a moment to recover before his own axe was knocked out of his hand with the knob of the other's. His rail cannon began to whir as it booted up, but no matter what, it was pointless. The swinging was relentless, each time narrowly dodging the slices. Are we doing close quarters now? Fine, the clown shouted, bearing his hidden knife before charging forward. He slices through the air, Comet narrowly ducking as it continued its attacks. Each and every swing was met with an expert dodge from both parties, but it wasn't enough. So I'm a little bit uneducated on the lore, but could Comet always do this? What do you mean by do this? Be a scary monster? Yeah. They needed to lock in. Yeah, I think Comet just needed like a total crash out moment. Considering everything that just went on. This has been building over time, too. Each and every swing was met with an expert dodge from both parties, but it wasn't enough. Violence was met with a slice in his chest, tumbling backwards, flipping around like an acrobat before landing on his knees. He raised his arm to aim his cannon and fired. As soon as the charge was fired, it was as if Comet melted into the ground, disappearing into a puddle of darkness. Just a moment later, pulling itself out of the ground fully formed. What the fuck? He muttered in disbelief. Could they always do that? Were they actually doing that, or was it a trick of the light? But then the monster charged forward again and forced him to forget his thoughts. The being before him was nothing like that creature he had boiled and tortured. No, it was something else completely. That poor tortured thing was no longer there, and in its place was a monster. Violence tried to take a swipe again at the monster, but it dodged effortlessly. Each action was met with an equal and opposite reaction as nature dictated. But this thing, was anything but natural. The monster swung down its axe with fury. The clown caught its arm, trying to slow the blow. He dug his heels into the ground, and with every molecule of his robotic being, he pushed as hard as he could. The monster's arm began to bend, and bend some more, to the point that if it bent any further, it would most certainly be pulled out of its socket. With every bit of force he had left, the clown pushed, and there was a sickening crack. But the monster did not react to the pain. It was as if it didn't even notice. It did not care. "You're a freak!" the clown screamed. The monster shrugged his grip off in its arm, forcing a release. "You really think you have a right to be here? You freak? You monster?" Violence took a step back and planted his feet once again on the ground as his cannon began to fire up. The monster grabbed its dislocated arm and with a swift shove forced it back into its socket with a pop. There was no reaction, no sensitivity to pain, nothing to suggest anything of importance happened in the slightest. His attacks meant nothing. What was the fun in a fight if there was no reaction? This is violence right here. This right here is exactly everything that violence stands for. What is, not even just a fight, what is the fun in anything if there is no reaction? If Frog didn't seem afraid, I think violence would fuck off. That also pisses me off. Abruptly, the monster dashed forward, lunging for the robot. Violence fired the cannon, and it connected with the skin of the monster. He watched in glee as several fingers on his opponent turned to ash. By the way, this is what my evil ex was like, too. You want to know what made him stop stalking me? Is because I just would block him and not respond. He still took another 2 years before he stopped, but he finally stopped. It wasn't fun anymore. He watched in glee as several fingers on his opponent turned to ash. But the glee melted away into fear once he realized once again there was no reaction. No horror, no pain, just nothingness. And in that moment, violence faltered, and a seed of doubt was planted in his mind. How could this thing be allowed to walk on Solace? He scrambled back, recalculating his plans, running through his mental list of weaknesses he'd tallied up for Comet. Their neck. He remembered the screams they let out once he slit their throat. He brandished the knife in his arm, the same exact knife that had reopened their scar. He dashed forward, eyes glued to his target. He knew he couldn't miss. The blunt side of the monster's axe hit the side of his head like a bat, sending him soaring through the air and clattering against a tree. For any lesser creature, it would have been a killing blow, but violence was no ordinary thing. Even still, the impact made him dizzy and his body screamed out in pain. His eyes flickered open and saw the shadowy being several feet away, slowly beginning to approach. And in that moment, Violence the Clown felt an emotion that he thought he had long buried. Fear. He tried to scramble to his feet. I feel like this music isn't like scary enough, you know? It's just like plotting revenge. I need villain piano music. Villain. Yeah, sure, this, whatever. He tried, no, this is too, I need, like, sure, whatever. He tried to scramble to his feet, but his body wouldn't seem to cooperate. His stupid robotic body was malfunctioning. Why now, at this moment of all times? Thunk. The footsteps of his opponent rang out in his mind. Thunk. No, 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 this can't be it. This can't be the end. Thunk. Please, God, no. Comet. Comet wouldn't, right? They have too much to lose. Thunk. Was he going to die? Here? All alone? Thunk. What about Feather? What about Moss? Why are you thinking about Feather? Feather hates you, I guarantee it. Thunk. He looked up. The monster stood before him, axe raised. And in that moment, Violence didn't beg, he didn't cry. He only felt a pure and human fear as the axe sliced cleanly through his neck. Finally! Fucking finally! The door swung open with a crash. Several heavy footsteps. A heavy thunk as the head of Violence the Clown is slammed onto the desk. Moss looked up, eyes wide in horror. If I ever see him again, there won't be a body left to recover. Don't tell me Violence gets to come back! Yeah, there's another tab. If Violence gets rebuilt and gets to come back and then is like, it's okay, guys, I'm good now. I'm not. You're getting sent to prison, buddy. I did go and spoil myself and look at this art, by the way. Fantastic. Comet's art style has like, mwah, solidified and like, it's beautiful. I want to just stare at this for a while. And the moon. Chef's kiss, the moon. Comet is going for round 2 if that happens. Freya's gonna... You thought Eclipse was graphic? Freya's gonna turn every molecule of Violence the Clown into... I don't know. Freya's gonna give Violence, like... nerves. Because, like, he's fully a robot, right? Freya is going to give him a working nervous system and then dismantle him piece by piece so that he feels the pain. Sorry, I'm probably getting a little too much, Freya's gonna do an Omni-Man. Freya's fed up, by the way. You guys aren't ready for her next season. I mean, she isn't that way yet, but like, she's gonna learn how to, she's killed one person, she's not... Second tab of the document transcribes what happens in the audio. Okay, so that's what happens. Oh yeah, we're gonna listen to it. Jesus, that was loud.
If I ever see him again, there won't be a body left to recover.
That was fire. All right, I'm gonna take like a 3-minute break. I'll be back. Okay, I've got myself a fudge bar. And now we get to read Zinnia lore. I'm so excited. I love Zinnia. Zinnia's favorite place in the entire facility was underneath the garden's willow tree. The younger kids didn't like to go near it. They'd tell each other ghost stories of whispers you could only hear when sat against its trunk, and run from the spiders that sleep in the leaves. For Zinnia, it made it the best place to think. All sounds of life from the surrounding facility were muted here, with only the distant singing of birds to keep her from ever spiraling too deep. Well, she also had Marigold for that, except the other woman was nowhere to be seen today. Nor did Zinnia get to see her much yesterday, nor the day before that. Until recently, the two had always been joined at the hip, practically inseparable, when one day Marigold just stopped showing up. That in itself was a weirdly impressive feat, considering they both lived in the same building, but what solidified the strangeness was Mary's avoidance of the subject whenever Zinnia would eventually track her down. There wasn't a single thing Zinnia didn't know about the other girl, rarely a thought that ever went unspoken between the two. This is written so well. At least that's what she'd always believed. It was an equation Zinnia couldn't solve. An experiment of which she didn't have the methodology for. What was happening to Marigold? With this... Wait, hold on. Why do I not have streamer mode on? What? What happened to streamer mode? That's weird. Could have sworn it was on before. Oh, you know what? I bet it's because I had, I use OBS for work. With this, Zinnia decided to stop sitting around idly and do what she always did when she reached a mental block. She left her sanctuary underneath the willow tree and sought out her mother, better known on her planet as Dr. Sephany. A decorated scientific researcher, notorious for her pioneering discoveries in the science of cloning, yet softened by her daughter. It takes a little while to find her mother, both at the fault of the size of the facility and the woman's busy schedule, but she eventually spots her power walking down one of the many hallways the place had. I love Dr. Sephany, man. The click-clacks of Sephany's high heels echoing in familiarities as Zinnia ran up to her. Matching smiles mirrored each other. I've been looking for you, Mother. Zinnia fell into stride as she walked alongside the doctor. Can we talk for a moment? We'll have to walk and talk, my dear. My next meeting starts in 10. Right, of course. Do you know if anything has been going on with Marigold? Surprisingly, this made Sephany stop in her tracks. Zinnia almost sliding on the tiled floor next to her. Her mother's face no longer held the kindness she usually wore around Zinnia, replaced with a look so sharp it rivals the scalpel she used in her work. Sorry. This is, like, dude, the descriptive writing you're doing here is, like, fantastic. Thank you, Virgil. Look so sharp it rival the scalpel she used in her work. Mwah. You hate it? I love it. This is fantastic. Like, I'm not even, like, being like, oh yeah, it's great. Like, it's really good. I love descriptive writing. Why? Did she say something to you? Oh, no, this is supposed to be like, why? Did she say something to you? Leveled. Calculated. For reasons that she didn't understand, Zinnia felt a little uneasy. No, the opposite, actually. It feels like something's wrong, but she won't talk to me at all. Good. A pause. Good? Zinnia parroted dumbly, her brain searching for missing context, for a reason as to why her loving mother would be so dismissive over a concern like this, especially after... If she wanted to tell you, she would have already. Best to leave her alone. With that, Dr. Sephany was on the move again, the sound of high heels against tiles once again filling the hallway. Zinnia hurried after her, still processing her mother's comment. How could she be so blunt without fully understanding the situation? Without considering different variables? But wait, Mother, wait! She blocked the path ahead, arms outstretched in childish protest. Something about this feels really wrong. What if Mary's got roped into something bigger than just her? Don't you know anything? Zinnia, I don't have time to reassure you whenever someone does not pour their heart out to you. Drop it. Unwilling to meet her daughter's eyes, she strutted past Zinnia without another word, leaving the girl stunned in place. Her mother was a lot of things, and maybe her fellow scientists would have more colorful things to say about her, but she was never cold to Zinnia. Not once. Why would that change now? Zinnia stood alone with an aching heart until the sound of heels were gone completely. Only then did she raise her head and square her shoulders, a newfound resolve working its way through her brain. She had to have been right. Dr. Stephanie, of all people, would not break her cool unless Zinnia was right on the nose. Marigold was caught up in trouble. She started down the hallway, in the opposite direction her mother left in, her destination set on the garden so she could see through the windows. Yes, sorry. Marigold was never in her usual spots these days, so rather than going directly to her, she'd have to get a little help. The kids were on their lunch break, playing amongst the flowers, and Zinnia knew how those kids loved to talk. As soon as her shoes met grass, she was bombarded by hyper children that pulled and hung from her arms, the same way they did every day. Usually a game would follow, tag or hide and seek, but today Zinnia had something to focus on, much to the kids' disappointment. "But you always play with us at lunchtime," a small boy pouted, kicking the dirt beneath him. "Can't you stay for just a little bit?" A short girl used her best puppy eyes. Sorry, everyone. How about a different game? I'll sneak a bunch of pudding cups to the person that can find Big Sis Mary first." Gasps filled the small crowd at the promise of extra pudding, before the children started whispering to each other. Zinnia raised a brow. Guys, no one gets the cups if I don't get to know where you think she is." The children looked at each other, some sort of telepathic conversation going on before one stepped forward. "But isn't Big Sis usually with Dr. Stephanie right now?" "Huh? Yeah, I see Big Sis Mary go that way all the time." "My next meeting starts in 10. Her mother had been meeting with Marigold? Why would neither of them mention that? "Are you okay, Zin? You look poorly." One of the girls pulled at her right arm, snapping her out of her thoughts. "Did we win the pudding cups?" "Yeah, I'll grab them for you guys later, okay? Zin has to go." She quickly left the garden, leaving the kids to play amongst themselves despite their protests. There was a buzzing in her head as she rushed to her mother's office, the type that makes your ears hurt and vision blur at the edges. Something was wrong with Marigold, wrong enough that her mother had gotten involved and both of them had lied about it. Part of her tried to rationalize it, desperately scrambling for something that could reassure her, only to draw blanks, because the rational voice never came from Zinnia. The rational voice was Marigold. It was her mother, never her. All she could do was hold on to hope that she was being dramatic and blown a small thing out of proportion. The hope didn't really stop the storm in her head, but it did allow her to keep putting one foot in front of the other until she found herself outside of her mother's office. She stood there for a moment in silence, chewing on her bottom lip, while the big oak door taunted her. For just that moment, Zinnia contemplated if it was worth it. She could walk away, pretend this entire day was a weird dream, and go on with her life. Hell, maybe whatever's wrong will work itself out. Maybe Zinnia would only make it worse. Zinnia opened the door. Her stubbornness would be the death of her. Zinnia? There, inside the office, stood Marigold, her everything, love in the shape of a person. Oh. Her eyes, the color of early dusk, didn't have their usual shine to them. But when she looked at Zinnia, the woman could tell she was still full of emotion. Suddenly, the urge to forget her purpose for being there became overwhelming, instead just wanting to take Marigold's hand and run away from it all. Perhaps if she hugged her tightly enough, all their problems would disappear. No, Zinnia couldn't allow her to be herself to be so selfish at a time like this. Not who you were expecting? Zinnia took a step into the office, the heavy door closing with a thud behind her. You wound me. Marigold smiled at her, as she always did, but the exhaustion was evident. Why are you here, Zinnia? The question was not one of dismissal, nor of malice, but rather an unsaid plea. Please don't do this. Don't make me lie to you. Mother told me to stop asking you what's wrong. She started softly, cruelly. She said that if you had something you wanted to tell me, you would have by now. You spoke to Dr. Stephanie? I did. I think I was right to. Zinnia took careful steps forwards, effectively closing the too wide gap between the two. Marigold, please, talk to me. We both know something is wrong here. Marigold's gaze fell to the floor, and Zinnia felt like she was battling against gods to not reach out. She couldn't, or else she'd cave in completely, and she was too deep for that. I told you before, it's nothing. If it's nothing, why won't you tell me? If it is so unimportant, why can't you say it? Frustration pinched at her throat as her words started to overflow. Do you really think I wouldn't notice what's going on? Was I supposed to ignore you when you started to avoid me to meet in secret with my mother? Does it have anything to do with that kid that went missing? Marigold's eyes were saucers in response to the question, and Zinnia felt her stomach drop. Everyone in the facility knew of the child that stopped showing up one day. It had happened a couple of months ago. It was only then that the other children started to gossip and spread rumors that the staff announced the kid had never been missing and that they had always known where he was. That boy was transferred to a different facility, Zinnia. You know that. No, I don't. That's what we got told, but I'm starting to realize that that doesn't mean jack shit. God damn it, Mari. Sorry. God damn it, Mary. How long have you been... I can't say this sentence. God damn it, Mary. How long before you go missing too? I'm not going to go missing, Marigold replied. How can I be sure of that when you don't tell me anything? I feel like I'm losing my mind over here while you don't care at all. It's because I care that I can't tell you. It's because I care that I can't tell you. Marigold looked utterly devastated, her bottom lip trembling. For Zinnia, even getting shot wouldn't hurt as much as her heart did in this moment. Because telling you, Zinnia, it would kill you. I'd rather you hate me forever. Mary, there's nothing you could tell me that would crush me like that. We'll both be fine as long as we're together. Zinnia's voice was gentle now, all the fire leaving her. That's not... There was a pause, and then Marigold sighed, like she mentally came to a resolution. She shook her head sadly. I'm sorry, but I can't. There is no together on this one. And if Zinnia had to pinpoint the moment she felt her world started to end, the needle would stick right into that one sentence. She wondered if Marigold would say the same, but she'd never ask, because they weren't together for this. Ugh! Ugh! If Marigold said anything else after that, it fell on deaf ears, as Zinnia turned on her heel and left that wretched office with enough speed that one would think being in there physically hurt her. In a way, it did. Her feet moved on autopilot, taking her to the only place that made sense, the willow tree. In the limited privacy of that leafy dome, Zinnia sank to the floor rather pathetically, while her tears watered the earth beneath her. Sitting against the tree trunk, she pulled her near... This music is like going way too crazy for this moment. I'm sorry. Sitting against the tree trunk, she pulled her knees up to her chest as she wept, until the midday sun became evening twilight. Only then did she hear someone else enter the space, and painfully. Zinnia didn't even have to look to know who it was. After taking a seat next to her, Marigold's hands found Zinnia's, naturally. Neither said a word, but the sentiment was loud and heavy. It wasn't only the younger children that had their seemingly telepathic way of communicating with each other. Marigold and Zinnia knew exactly what the moment said to each of them. I'll always be right here. Oh, man. Oh! That is so tragic. Yeah, Virgil's right. This was really good, and I read it so poorly because I'm like still hyped up from the violence thing. But that was incredible. Your writing is just as good as your art. Trip to Finda, the final Belios doc of the season. People being shot by fire. Alright, keep that in mind. Belios walked down a path on Finda, and his reason for being here was simple, to seek help. Obviously, he needed help getting here. He and Light went and saw Zephyr. They had a little chat, even making a deal for him to get Belios here. The gods soul gems for a free passage. Belios agreed because he saw no use in holding onto the gems. Zephyr told him that he'd send Belios to a path near the Tree of Life, and to follow it, the rest was up to him. So that's what he did. Belios used his staff to find the edges of the trail. While walking, a man had passed carrying a body, who was beaten half to death. But that was normal for Finda. But Belios felt the hair on his neck stand up, as if something familiar had passed. His father had walked by, the body on his shoulder blocking his view of his son. Bro's just carrying a body, okay? But Belios didn't pay attention to it, knowing he needed to stay on task, so he continued down the path. Eventually, as he drew closer to the tree, figures around it began to look at Belios. It was the bards. The leader, Varkos, stepped to the front. Well, if it ain't the blind bard, Varkos said with a chuckle as he crossed his arms. Hello to you, too. I need to speak with the primordials, preferably the Seeker. Bards aren't allowed in the castle after resets. The primordials have their own work to do. I can be an exception. Just call one down so that I can get up to the castle. No can do, bucko. And they especially make exceptions for idiots who can't keep their word. And they won't take back your punishment. But I don't have all day to chit-chat. Varkos turned to another bard. Zayla, summon Mr. Rose. Tell him the blind one is back. He then walked away. Zayla turned to a rose bush and spoke in a hushed tone, sprinkling a little green dust onto a rose before walking away. Belios stood near the tree. Soon the bush sank into the ground, and a giant rose began to grow, and inside Mr. Rose, Fitting name. A tall man dressed in an elegant suit stepped out. He then looked at the two. Ah, Balios, welcome back. What is it that you need? Rose spoke. He had a soft tone, but he sounded like his patience was on its last thread. I need to speak with the Seeker. I believe he could help me in some way. That's all. Thank Divine, come on. Thank Divine, come on, onto the rose, he said as he dragged him onto the large flower, and it began to close over them. Moments later, it opened near a painting in which Mr. Rose led the bard through, leading in the large castle around the planet. The being was speaking to someone on an orb in his hands. The voice speaking from it sounded like Balios' mother. But once Balios walked in, the being walked out. Aerosol was arguing with the twins in a far corner, but stopped when he noticed Balios. Balios, I'm not gonna lie. If I had, like, an award ceremony for, like, the Smile SMP, I feel like you would get an award for having, like, 3 times as many background characters or side characters or whatever as anyone else. Even more than Bagel, somehow. It's impressive. I don't know who half these people are. I've only heard their name mentioned, like, a few times. And every document, you add more. It's impressive. Also, you need to just write a book. You have so much world that it's hard to fit it all in SMP. Write a book. He's still pissed that he got away from his previous attack, so he began to storm over. However, he was stopped by Rose's cane, which was poking his chest to tell him to back off. But Aerosol didn't care. He smacked the cane away and tried to lunge at Balios. But then the cane came around and struck him in the chest, making him fly into a seat. He is my guest. Don't be disrespectful, darling. SMP Award Ceremony 1. I've been thinking of doing like a Lore Tuesday wrapped thing, like Spotify Wrapped. Like tell people like how many words they wrote and stuff, but it would take a long time. Mr. Rose continued to lead the two over to the Seeker's painting. Here you are. Just step through this, wander around until you find a long spider leg, and then give it a gentle tap. That should tell him you're here. Bailey, you say it like it's like, of course you wander around until you find the spider leg and then tap it. That's what we all do. Balios nodded before he carefully stepped into the painting. Once he entered the painting, he was in the Seeker's realm. It seemed to be an endless library surrounded by a dark void. There were giant books that floated in the sky. Some were gently flapping their pages like wings to fly. Others were being read or written by giant eyes in the void. Balios heard the clicking of 8 sharp legs tapping on the ground and a muttering voice from far out. Balios began to walk through the infinite halls of bookshelves, the tapping and muttering growing louder. The voice sounded like it was high above, and simple words could be made out, like tree, punishment, and glare. As he moved closer, he heard the voice start to speak about a barred people entering a library. Balios was halted to a stop when he ran into a pole that seemed to stretch upwards beyond the mist that covered the ceiling of the void. Then the voice spoke again, much closer. The god ran into a pole, which had thin bristles covering the outside of it. It seemed to lead upward forever until it moved gently, as a sign that the pole was a being. The voice stopped before it began to mutter, and the pole moved up and over a bookshelf, soon replaced with another, and then the same happened again until none was shown. I swear I need to get new glasses. This font the books are in is hard to read, but my guests are here finally. He soon heard movement, and then a large arachnid body sneaking from the fog, which seemed to also be changing size until it reached a good height of 8 feet tall. Soon, a head appeared in front of Balios, a man looking around his late 30s. His body was cut off at the waist as he hung upside down. His bottom half was part spider, his legs were bent and twisted to keep him upside down. He looked at Balios. Ah, welcome to my lovely library. What brings you here? He looked back at the book in his hand, and then something clicked in his brain. Oh, right, you're here for help. Please tell me what I can do. I know the last time we spoke was when your eyes were ripped out, and before you begin, no, I can't bring your eyes back, as much as I would love to. I don't want to be next on the chopping block. He crossed his arms. This thing felt like it just gave me a wood splinter in my tongue. Ow. I know you can't heal my eyes, Seeker, but maybe you could do something to help. Like, I don't know, give me the ability to see through the skin. Like how the light shines off of things. Or just what's coming up so I can stop running into walls. He looked towards the Seeker, aiming his head towards where he heard his voice last. That's a big ask, but I can do it. However, I will need to kind of kill off the abilities you have now. Not all the way, just until they're dormant. And in return, you'll gain a new ability to help you with the light issue. But before I do any of that, let's move out of the flammable library. The Seeker's body began to twist and turn as his arachnid half began to shift into mortal legs. 4 arms began to grow from the sides of his torso. The 8 eyes shifted to 6, and he wore a black robe over his shoulders and black pants. He outstretched his hands, and the bookshelves began to slide away until they reached the edge of the realm. The flying books began to land and shift into tall braziers that began to light up the area. The eyes began to merge, shifting into a sun and a moon. This might be uncomfortable for you, Balios, but we got this, I think. He chuckled as he stepped back from Balios' sum. The Primordial raised his hands in a circle, chanting an ancient spell, and the flames around him began to change color and twist and turn until each formed a different sigil. The sigils then morphed into small tornadoes of fire that covered the braziers. As it went into the sky, it twisted into a curve, merging into a midpoint above the Seeker, and then a larger tornado formed, coming down and surrounding the two. In the tornado, the Seeker kept chanting. Balios tried his best not to be bothered by the intense heat. He did earn some burns on his arms. The staff that Balios carried was soon snatched away as the Seeker made it float towards himself. The Seeker's eyes turned to flames as he made metal from the braziers float over and weld together into a lantern. The Seeker then attached the lantern to the hook of the crescent moon staff. He then set it on the floor, and then the tornado stopped. The smaller tornadoes were sucked into the midpoint, and then sank to where the Seeker had his arms outstretched. It then shot out in 2 beams aimed at his eyes. The beam burned through the skin, hitting the optic nerve. Balios yelled in pain, but the beams didn't stop. When the beams collide with the nerve, it begins to repair itself. Moments after the nerves were fully repaired, the beams retracted before a third shot out into his chest. It collided with his soul gem and entered the veins surrounding the gem. Fire began to spread through his body. Balios screamed in pain, but it wasn't long until the flames settled and finally felt like they belonged there. The beams stopped and the flames were put out. The Seeker stopped chanting and stepped back a little wobbly from the massive amount of magic used. Balios fell to his knees, his veins that were once glowing now dimmed. The Seeker kicked Balios' staff before he himself made one of the braziers fall over so that he could sit down. He looked down at Balios before he spoke. There, it's done. You can fucking see and do whatever. That's... what a line. What a line. What a line. There, it's done. You can fucking see and do whatever. Guys, I think we've lost the plot today. I think we've lost the plot. There, it's done. You can fucking see and do whatever. I'm sorry. Continuing. Now we just have to do the next step and deal with the other magic you have. Balios looked up, grabbing his staff and slowly standing. The lantern cast a soft glow that allowed him to see a very blurry outline of the Seeker. The burn marks on his eyes healed over quickly, and the burns on his arms seemed to vanish. The Seeker took a deep breath before standing. He held one of his hands out, and an orb appeared. The 3 strings began to slither out of his chest. One was green, representing his natural abilities. One was black for his decay spells, and the last was red for his blood magic. The strings floated around the orb before seeping into it, and the orb began to shift through the colors. Then the Seeker made the orb vanish. And we are officially done. You have your vision, and I have non-dormant parts. I love how he started with being like, sorry, I can't fix your vision. And then he's like, fuck it, you see now. Literally. You can fucking see and do whatever. I'm saving this. This is my favorite quote. I'm putting this somewhere. Hold on. I'm putting this in quotes. Why not? Okay. Now that this is done, I do have a few warnings. Number 1, keep a tight lid on those negative emotions. Why? 2, stay away from anything flammable, and 3, don't lose the staff. It's a walking stick and helping you see. He paused, taking a breath before continuing. Now it was fun to see you again, but I'm missing valuable time on my writing, so I'll send you back to the tree. He waved his hand, and one of the braziers turned back into a book and floated over to them. Step on it, it'll close, and y'all will be at the tree. The bard should send you back. Actually, I have a favor. There's been too much solace that has happened. I'm guessing too much on solace that has happened? There has been too much solace. The future is unpredictable, and new foes are everywhere. I need you to train me to be able to use my new abilities so that I can protect those I care about. Belios looked towards the Seeker. Fine, only because writing is boring. Didn't you just say, like, okay, I'm missing valuable time on my writing. I gotta get back to it. Like, let me get back to writing. Fine. Only because I actually didn't want to do that anyway. I will train you, but we are letting my little star know where you are. And yes, I mean light. I'll explain all that after a few sessions. My little star? The Seeker snapped his fingers, and the ring on Belios' finger flew to him, making the crow exit from the ring form. He whispered something to the crow and sent it through a portal back to light. So let's get to training then. The Seeker stood, making a long sword with purple cracks running through the blade appear in his hands. Okay. Magos lore. A father's victory. The door shut quietly as Lucky entered Magos' ship. After his interruption a bit back, she was very curious what was on his mind. They seemed to never talk outside of work, so maybe this was important. Who's following me to every document, by the way? I see you joining. Valuable doesn't mean enjoyable, I guess. Maybe not. Yeah, it seemed important. Whatever. The satyr looked around before calling out, Solvix, you here? Decided to just come over instead of sending a comm. I hope that's okay. Wow, okay. Oh, it's you? Two voices could be heard from a room away from the satyr. Magos kept the location of his ship well under wraps. Who could he be talking to? Lucky walked her way through the ship, peering through doorways. As she got closer to the voices, she stopped in the doorway to see Solvex and a child? Lucky cleared her throat. Never thought you were one for kids. I'm just full of surprises. This is my son, Sulric. The cure was finished and worked perfectly, and now he's free from the blight that struck my people. Sulric looked to be between 12 to 14 years old. He was wearing a dark purple cloak that lacked the white markings that Magos' had. Sulric's brown hair matched his eyes. There was also what appeared to be a tattoo of a purple eye on his forehead. His left arm looked to be made out of a liquid metallic type substance. Soon it's going to be time for the hardest part, sending him back to the homeworld without me. Why doesn't he just go? She nodded, acknowledging Sulric before looking back at Magos. Why didn't you want to leave? You've spent months working on the ship on that cure, and now you're just going to send him away. Yeah, thank you. Lucky wasn't trying to sound rude, but she was a bit frustrated with the situation. She knew she still didn't know much about him or his reasonings for things, but this just didn't seem right. My son can spread the cure to others. As for me, don't you remember those audio recordings of Eclipse? They said Freya is like Omen. Echo has a Lumeran on their side. If Solace falls, then everything else will fall with it. The last of us wiped clean. I want to make sure we can survive. Scarabs would dance around Sulric as he attempted to chase them. I guess you're right. She quietly watches the boy for a bit before focusing her attention back to Magos. Do you think things are going to get worse for us since Freya left us? Yes, I believe things are going to spiral without her here. Say what you want about her leadership, but without her we have no clue on how to deal with this other Lumeran threat. A small hologram of the new moon popped up. I have no clue when or if she will be back. Grief hits us many ways, and I know during the last faction things did not go so well for her. Yeah, Light told me a bit about the meeting, but since Freya isn't any help, I do think we should start as soon as possible to defend ourselves. Lucky walked over to look at the hologram. It's incredible how easily the Lumeran can create and destroy within seconds. Indeed, I will begin my work right after I send my son off. This entire ship is unable to leave the atmosphere. Why? It's not even in the atmosphere. Shouldn't it be in orbit? But I did modify it enough that some of it could, as of our deal. I'm so confused about why wouldn't it be able to leave the atmosphere? Wait. Is it? Wait, is it landed? Is it like on the surface? How did it get there if it can't leave? A small, dark blue cube floated to Lucky's hands. This contains the resources to improve your lab. Just lightly toss it. Oh, right. Thanks. Lucky moved the cube around in her hands before sighing. I guess you probably don't need me anymore, huh? Oh, it's broken? Crash landed in Frostfire? Oh, alright. I'm sure I will need your help sometime soon, but for now I just want to play with my son for the time he has left on this world. You, of course, are welcome to join us and watch his liftoff. Thank you, Lucky. Magos had turned his head towards his son again. Right, of course. Just let me know. I'm always happy to be there for a friend. She gave a small smile before turning to leave the ship. So how could part of the ship leave? How big is this ship? Alright. From Violence. The war is over. Final thoughts. I'm sorry, husband. I'm sorry, Frog. No way you're not. You're not sorry to Frog. And father. Mother. Damn. Who'd know this be my final joke? Ha ha ha! And I'm the punchline. That's pretty funny. Cool. Alright, we get to watch Mira and Dante get married. Let's go. Oh my god, it's my music. I was like, this sounds like something I made. I skipped over a bit? What did I skip over? Oh, Violence the Clown has lost his head. Why did I not read that? What? Violence the Clown has lost his head. I can't believe I didn't unspoiler that. Yeah, I thought I did. Sorry. I'm losing my mind today. It's your favorite song? Aww.
Friends, family, loved ones, we come together today in the sight of the heavens and as of you as witnesses to join Mira and Dante in marriage. We gather around them now in this beautiful place, and we look on with love and hope as these two begin their new life
But the
together
fireflies are
as
so
one.
pretty.
Mira and Dante, are you ready to proclaim?
I have a mod that, like, doesn't get rid of... It gets rid of the sound. I think it also gets rid of the little flying thing, so I didn't see that at all.
That foundation of love for one another in the sight of the heavens and these witnesses.
Yes.
Yes.
Okay. Mira, do you take Dante to be your lawfully wedded husband?
I do.
Will you honor and cherish him, love and trust and commit to him through joy and pain, sickness and health, and whatever life may throw at you both until death do you part?
I do.
And Dante, do you take Mira to be your lawfully wedded wife? Will you honor and cherish her, love, trust, and commit to her through joy and pain, sickness and health, and whatever life may throw at you both until death do you part?
I do.
If you wanted to read vows.
I'll go first.
You
I go first. Okay. Dante, I promise to love you in ways both big and small. I promise to hold your hand, lead you when needed, and never go to sleep angry. I'm about to notice the details that make you who you are, your laughter, your worries, your dreams. I promise to encourage your growth, to celebrate your wins, and to stand by you when the world feels heavy. I will be patient when we disagree. I will seek peace when words fall short. I will respect you and the people who shaped you. I'm about to keep humor in our days and tenderness in our nights. I choose you, not just once, but over and over again, in public and in private, with all my strength and all my heart. This is my
Their
promise.
vows were so cute. Both of them.
Mira, I vow to you that I would be with you no matter through any hardship that we ever go through. I vow to always protect you. I vow to always be there as your right hand and to make sure that throughout any difficulties that you have when managing this planet, that I would be there to help you reach an amazing decision for everyone in Solus. I vow to support your decisions. I vow to take care of you when you're sick and take care of you when you are harmed. I vow to be your knight in shining armor, and to be there when no one else is.
Mira and Dante, having proclaimed your love and devotion to one another in the eyes of these loved ones, and with the power vested in me as Prophet of Rua and as a leader of Solace, I am so happy to pronounce you husband and wife. You may now kiss. Alright, and now it is time for the reception.
This was first the cha-cha slide. And then it was sexy back. And then it was you spin me right round. I remember that. They break the podium and place a speaker. Yeah. It's time to party and the first wedding's over. Jump. Oh, was I holding something? Wait, where am I? Oh no, I'm there. I'm just huge. I forgot. Comment our accurate heights. Oh, no more speaker. No more dancing allowed. Slide to the left.
Well,
You guys-
Mira and
oh.
Dante here to sign the marriage license, so you are officially married. I will sign the book, but it's behind you. You just need to go ahead and sign there.
You guys weren't here, but one time I had never learned to dance the cha-cha slide. I didn't even know that was like I didn't know what it sounded like. So one time on stream, people were like, "Can you dance to it?" And so I tried, and it was really bad. I think I have a clip. If you like dig through my page, there is a really bad clip. How do I make truffle like 5'10"? I can do that. Next season, it might be good to give people like the scale attribute command so that they can make their characters the right height. Yeah, I like the accurate sizes too. Aw, they're so cute! Ah! Well, this frog had a tail. I don't remember making this song at all. I must have made it when I was like half asleep because I don't remember making this at all. Friedrich spotted. Wait, really? Because Virgil didn't come until later. Oh no, wait, there she is. Oh my gosh. There's like a ball parallel. Oh! Kind of does. Similar tree. This is a beautiful location, by the way. I need to remake this song. This is terrible, honestly. It's so repetitive. What the fuck is this? Just hopping and bouncing. Parkour! It's so funny when you think about them like doing this IRL. They're like jumping over the chairs, running full speed around. To be fair, about 20 people had asked you to make songs for the character. Yeah. We've changed our heights.
Yeah, I was about to say, you're really tall.
I don't know what you're talking about. You're really short.
No, you're really short.
Oh no, it's just like real life. No.
Whoa. Putting Virgil being bullied in here is crazy.
It's a little
It's a
unsettling to
flower.
like look across my screen and just see.
No, but I
Are
can
you
do
saying
this.
card trick or card?
Friedrich, do you wish for
Guys, Kevin's gonna
Watch
whip out a
this.
car.
I will now disappear.
Wow!
Wow.
I believe it.
Freya commented.
I'm floating!
Behaving.
We're floating! Oh my god, how are we doing
Floating.
It's so heavy. Ow!
Ow!
Did you just call us all fat?
You just called us fat. That's like
Oh, 3 of you on top of me is a little much. I'm sitting
you have
on
a
me.
lot more
Ow.
than me.
I was about to say, Kevin, can you tell me if I'm heavy?
Legs. You've broken my legs. The whole Kevin thing was so funny. It's Kevin spelled K''VEN, by the way. Kevin. Kevin. Ignore what I was saying. Eclipse explosion caught on camera. Oh man. Alright. Oh man. A bunch of people posted like right before the stream started. Alright. A guided nightmare. Oh wait, this is a video. Hold on. A guided nightmare. Thank you, Frog, for the title. This is for future frog and feather lore. Yeah, let me start over. I know what I have to do? What is this? It's so ominous. What do you mean you know what you have to do? Alright. Will it even matter? Crowfake lore. You're evil laughing. That's scaring me. Anya! A little girl's voice called out from behind Anya. Anya turned her head, a wide, childlike smile cutting her face in half. Mishanya! She exclaimed as the little girl met her halfway, then wrapped her arms around Anya. I've missed you, Misha said to Anya as they pulled apart. My mama said that you went on a trip to Oh my god, I can't. Svetokrai? Svetokrai? Was it fun? Anya's head bobbled up and down. Half my family is Russian. I should be able to say these things. I feel like an idiot. Anya, I swear, like reading it, like saying things, whatever, fine. Second I have to read it on Lore's Tuesday, I forget anything other than, like, half of English. Anya's head bobbled up and down. It was so fun. I wish you could have come with me. Misha just shook her head as she giggled. You know I can't go, dummy, Misha teased. Svetokari is for cool people, like your parents. Anya's lips pursed into a circle, a silent oh. I think you're cool people, Misha, Anya complimented with a childish grin. That's why I wished to Rod that we'd be friends forever. She took Misha's hands in hers. You know we can't be friends forever. You'll outlive me. I'll die, and you'll forget about me. You won't die. I won't let you die. But you did, remember? The Vokovians. The explosion. I was caught in the blast. Don't you remember? It's like, Virgil disappeared years ago. You have to I don't know why I said Virgil, but yeah, I've made that joke before too, Virgil. Of course, I remember. You were everything. Is that why you look after her? Yes, she reminds me of you. How many people have you lost? I had 9, but there was more. They were my fault. I'm bad luck wherever I go. I just bring death and destruction. Maybe I should lock myself away. Water score? Then no one could ever be hurt again. People need you, Anya. You're strong, powerful. You have life and death coursing through your veins. You have spring and winter from your toes to your crown. They need you. You think anyone else can conjure up a weapon with the flash of light? So, a sword always ends up through someone's chest, and it's usually people I care about. You'll find your purpose. I know you will. Yeah, animation is crazy. It's really tough. And the watercolor kind of effect you did for this one was so good. Krufik stood by the storage bin building near the farm. Her gaze shifted down to the snow below her. Her hair was up in a bun, clipped back with a cyan ribbon she found in her scrap drawer. The wind blew her loose hairs into her face, but she didn't wipe them away. She was too lost in thought, too lost in memories of what was or what could have been. Maybe both. You in your head? A voice asked Krufik next to her. Krufik's eyes didn't move from the snow in front of her. That took effort. Effort she didn't have. Krufik didn't say anything for a long while. No, Krufik replied with a monotone voice. Silence. It was necessary, the voice reasoned. Their deaths, Marcello and Oak. Don't. They died for nothing. Died like animals. They weren't animals, Anya, the voice continued. Their sacrifice was necessary. Don't talk to me about sacrifices, Krufik yelled as she turned to face the voice. She was pissed. How dare blank talk to her about sacrifices? She lost everything. Her everything was taken away from her, and now she's losing everything she worked hard to get, to have. You know nothing about sacrifices, Krufik said through gritted teeth. The voice paused, its head tilted slightly to the side. Your accent, the voice started. When did it come back? Krufik blinked. It comes and goes, but don't talk to me about death. They died for nothing. 2 of our greatest soldiers, dead. All for one fucking gecko! Gecko? That's insane. Dude, I'm telling you, Friedrich's gonna hear someone refer to Anathi as lizards or geckos or whatever and be like, what? Listen. A long silence followed her words, but eventually she spoke again. They died to a curse. My curse. No one is safe, clearly, so I have to hide away. It started with her. It won't end with her. I won't let it happen.
Lizard.
I won't lose her. Not again. Never again. Oh? This play takes place before Violence's dock. Okay. Oh, I can turn off the thing. That's very green. Why are you green? Violence. Lizard out of stock. That'd be so funny. Kron forgets the names of things a lot, so if either of them ever talk and they call the Nathi lizard, that'd be so funny. Friedrich having explained to Kron, like, that, no, we don't do that. Oliver had been walking in circles. Every tree looked the same. Maybe he should have taken some wilderness classes when he was still a pup. Living in the ocean is rough, but this was something entirely different. After what felt like forever, he made his way back to the circus grounds, looking around quickly, making sure that nobody, but who he was looking for, was there. I'm not ready to face them. Violence, are you here? Oliver hoped for once that his cousin was where he needed him to be. He'd entered the main tent, getting ready to yell for him again when a crunch from the viewtop caught his attention. Violence's voice rang out through the tent. Halt! Who goes there? Violence sat munching on popcorn, glaring down at Oliver below. Oliver would chuckle and smile. Thank God Violence is here today. He'd glance at the popcorn in Violence's hands. It's just me, Oliver. Hey, wait, can you eat popcorn? Violence would stop and laugh, looking at him questionably. What? Oliver shook his head. Never mind. Anyways, I need your help with something. Violence smiled, starting to climb down from the viewtop. I'll say. I heard you ditched, ran away and left a note. Oliver would fidget nervously with his hands. Well, I wouldn't word it like that. I just needed to figure some things out. I said that I'd be back in the note. You're not going to tell them you saw me, right? Violence would laugh, walking to Oliver. Are you kidding? They wouldn't listen to me anyways, and even if they did, why would I tell them anything? Oliver would look at Violence and smile. Yeah, I guess so. Violence thought for a moment and then remembered what Oliver had said when he first came in. Oh yeah, anyways, what'd you need? Oliver would look at him, thinking of how to explain this. How could he explain all the things that had been going on in his head when he hasn't talked to anyone about this yet? Not even Lucky. He'd take a breath in and begin. Alright, so, when I was still living on my home planet, I had a really bad experience, and it's been affecting me a lot lately. Oh, I guess you'll need to know this. So, Selkies are like shapeshifters. They can take this mermaidish forms if they want. It's a lot of work, and for long periods of time, it begins to become painful. However. Anyways, I had a husband once, not by choice. He'd make me stay in that form for hours just to perform tricks for his audience. I guess that kind of messed me up. I've gotten really bad, let's just call them anger issues. They're usually triggered by memories or dehydration. Oliver would ramble on and on. It felt good to finally get all of this out of his system. Violence, for once, just nodded his head and listened. So you know how Frog and Feather are cryptids now? Well, my old husband was as well. And it seems like every time I see one of them, the memories just come flooding back, you know? I can feel my stomach churning, and I'm just so scared that one day I'm going to snap and hurt one of them. You are talking to the wrong person about being scared to hurt Frog. Probably the least helpful person when it comes to being scared to hurt Frog. Or worse, like I did to my husband. Violence would pause and look at Oliver. Not to undermine all of this, but what does this have to do with needing my help? Oliver would take a breath. Right, okay, so I know how you know how to, like, make potions and stuff, so I was wondering if perhaps you knew of a potion that could maybe, I don't know, fix me? Fix you? Oliver would shake his head nervously. Well, like, what I mean is fix my anger issues. Violence would nod. Oh yeah, I can do that, give me 1 sec. Oliver sat patiently while Violence left to go grab what he was looking for. The circus these days is looking so nice, probably because there's never anyone here. It's been pretty empty since everything's been going on. Maybe a show sometime would be nice. Alright, I'm back. Here, I wrote some ingredients down for a potion. You'll need to get them from certain people, some of which I'm not on great terms with. This part will all be you. When you find everything, just mix it together and take a small sip of it. You should be able to drink a sip daily and it'll help fix your issue. Good luck, and don't go eating random cake, alright? What? Why don't... Oliver chuckled. Oh, of course not. Thank you. So I'm guessing this is what the Lorem post was about. Interesting. From Mentos. Elias sets his eyes on the planet Solace for the first time. Ooh. Character introduction at the very end. March 30th, 2498. 6¼ years have passed since the Night of Broken Chains. Ooh, that must be what they call the Great Anomaly. My mission, it grows tired, hungry, but I can smell it, the beast. Throughout all of the vast and desolate space... Wait, was this... Yeah, this is approved. Where nearly every creature is killed before they can live, I and it stand. War has been fought, an unseen one, a beautiful one. Battles lost, though graciously. I sit in the captain's quarters of a stolen ship and have assumed my greatest mission. The reason I was left to live and not all others. War has chosen me. This is sounding like Ogle. It has chosen me to spread its message, its love, glorious purpose. The stolen... Wait, isn't... I feel like it's just glorious purpose. Isn't that like... Not Ultron. I feel like this is a specific thing from some media. The stolen ship around me seemed to belong to a scholar. It was littered with books about philosophy and history. And I read them. I read about the many battles throughout the galaxy. But it could only satiate my hunger for so long, and it nary quell my boredom. But then a shadow is cast, and I see it. Solace. That beacon called me here? To this wonderful oasis of peace and harmony? A land of milk and honey, towering mountains and flowing rivers, 1,000 fertile crescents. Heresy! I shouted, but as I looked closer, I saw people. Sentience. The only requirement for war, and in abundance. Perfect. I don't know about the cake thing either. Violence told me to add that. I'm just confused. I don't remember there being any, like, cake that you shouldn't eat. It truly was. To show an entire population what war looks like. To see what they've been missing. Oh, and you really would have loved Okel. My mouth waters at the sight of it. I clasped my hands together and got down to my knees and prayed. Lord, war, blessings be upon me for such a gift. A moment to prove myself, to show how easy it is to descend into savagery, to show those who believe in peace the truth, to give those who do not know the pleasure of feeling the blood of an enemy flow through the wrinkles of a palm, meaning in their pathetic nature. I stood to my feet and looked at my state of duress. A makeshift kilt, paint and ash covered my face. A necklace made of leather and teeth hung around my neck. I made a beeline for the ship's shower and took one. Red paint and black ash missing together on the floor. the blood of the last person I skewered mixing it as well, until I was born anew. Whoever had owned this ship was a teacher of some sort, from District Keller. But that's not a very good covery story, is it? War. War never changes. I feel like you're throwing lines in here, like references. I feel like you're just throwing in references to like, throw me off. Someone go through this and tell me how many, like, references to other things are in this. Neither do the reasons. So I became a priest. Close enough to what I already am. Last worshipper of war. The universe's chosen maker of it. Because of that, I will live. I will continue to create war forever in the name of it. Oh boy, I can't wait for you to meet Friedrich! Alright, we have a couple lore sheets. We have Dulce Bella's. Or Dulce Bella. Bella for short. Dulce Bella lived on Candoria, but after the Great Anomaly, she finds that everyone she created disappeared. As she got lonelier, she created candy people. One day, Bella blinks, and the next minute, she was laying face down on a beach in Solace. Her mission is to survive and make new friends while trying to get back home. Alright. I mean, it's pretty easy for her to get back home. You could just take a ship. Another person with the... Not the Winds of Amnesia, but being teleported to Solace, unfortunately. Elias Henway, the priest. This is the character we just read about. Elias Henway, the priest. Elias was born and raised in the Soul Pact Union, specifically District Keller. Well, I think we talked about this, and no, there aren't really any cults at all in the core. So you should change it to somewhere in the Rim. But although he was raised in a newly forming cult, because there are tons of cults on the Rim, let me tell you. Let me see if I can do this. Get this. Sorry, it's a little bright. Apostles of the Burning Sword. The apostles were driven by a belief that war and conflict were the truest and purest state of being any creature could be in. After the Great Anomaly, Elias was the only one of those apostles left, and his beliefs were hardened, strengthened. The Great Anomaly was the most loving the universe had ever been, and that him being left alive was for a purpose, to spread war's message and continue the work of the Great Anomaly. Elias began a pilgrimage throughout the universe. Actually, I would love for Elias to meet Hunter next season. You did this art? Let's go. Seeking to spread that message of violence. Violence? But then he came across Solace. Solace was beautiful, peaceful. I wouldn't say it was peaceful. It was blasphemous to everything Elias. Actually, you would love Miraju. Rip Miraju, you would love Elias. Had been taught. Heresy, Elias thought as he gazed upon the planet, but he knew he could not destroy this traitorous monument alone. He would have to play it smart. Father Elias was his name, a priest that worshipped a long-forgotten god, Luze, in a long-forgotten world. On Solace, he sought friendship and a place to preach where he wanted. At least that's what he tells all who talk to him. Alright, and then we have all this stuff. I usually just read the backstory part of lore sheets, but looking really cool. I look forward to seeing what you do with Elias next season, or in the next 4 days. Alright, yeah, speaking of which, Bob, I need to talk to you about voice lines. Sorry I crashed out a little bit. Had a rough day at work, but, well, it wasn't rough. I just had a kid, like, yelling at me the whole time. This is the second to last Lore Tuesday. So we'll do, like, a, stream on the 4th. Going through the Season 6 Memories channel, as well as the Season 6 POIs. If you have, like, a base that you made or something, just put it in here. Please put the coordinates, unless it's something like, you know, Statue of Remembrance or whatever that is, like, in the main area. Please put coordinates, or at least, like, something. So I can maybe either make a warp to it or something. I don't know. But yeah, we're all gonna go in Spectator and look around and stuff. And this Season 6 Memories channel we will read through. It'll be a pretty long event, and then we will count down and end the season. I will see you all then, and then You have until the next Tuesday to post. April. What is? Hold on. April 7 is the last Lore Tuesday. So you can post up to the stream that day where I will be closing the channel down. No more. Yeah. All right. See you on the 4th. Bye, everyone.